welcome back to another video. So if you haven't seen my last video where I attended my first Sertanejo concert, then make sure you watch that before you watch this one because that's the video I'm gonna be talking about in this video. So many people were like, well, what was your experience? How did you feel about it? What were your thoughts? So I figured I would do my own separate video talking about that. And I also on Instagram asked people to send me some questions that I should answer in this video. So I'm gonna get to those in a bit, but I'll first go over kind of like my own thoughts and whatnot. But before we start that, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel. We're uploading 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also make sure you give this video a like. Leave a comment down in the comment section of any videos you'd like to see from us in the future. And follow us on Instagram. These are our Instagrams. And let's get into it. So to start, a lot of people were asking me what concert I went to. We went to, I think it was called Florida Summer Festival, and it was at Virginia Key Beach, which was cool. The weather actually wasn't too bad. I was so worried it was gonna be super hot, and it actually ended up being really nice. It was still hot, but I think it's because we were surrounded by so many people. The venue was nice. Because it was kind of, some areas were dirt. People were spilling drinks and stuff like that. So we got a little bit dirty and like our feet got dirty and stuff like that. But otherwise it was a great venue. There were a ton of people. Oh my God. It was a little bit overwhelming and it was so loud. Like literally when we walked in, it was so loud. My chest was vibrating. Like, I don't know how to explain the feeling. Between the bass and the singers and the people screaming, it was literally so loud. It took me a little bit to adjust. I had to have a couple of drinks because it was literally that overwhelming. But overall, I do think that the experience was worth it. It was so much fun. We ended up getting there pretty late, which I'm kind of glad because the concert started at noon. It started at 12 o'clock and then it went until 11 o'clock at night. So we got there at like 6. So we were there for about 5 hours. Some of our friends were literally there the entire time and they were like exhausted. I was exhausted after only like five hours of being there. But between like the heat and the dancing and the singing and the drinks, it was like, yeah. We were in like the very front, which was cool because we were so close to the artist, but there were tons of people that were like bumping into me, knocking drinks onto me. Somebody poured champagne all over us by the end. Luckily it was the end. I would have been so mad if it was like right when we got there. But I was pretty drunk by the time that it happened, so I was like, whatever. But people were just getting a little wild. You know, they're having fun, but it was still like, I didn't appreciate having like alcohol poured on me. I think that they were doing it, you know, they were like shaking up the champagne bottle and like spraying it, but it ended up a lot on me and I was not super happy about it. It was a little bit challenging because I think a lot of people, I don't know if there were other Americans there, but it kind of seemed like I was literally the only American there. Everybody was speaking Portuguese. I was like trying to get through the crowd and people were yelling things to me and I don't know if they were like mean things or they were nice things, probably mean things. But I didn't know what they were saying. So luckily no fights happened or anything, but we were trying to like push our way to the front because that's where all of our friends were. We were trying to meet up with them and people I think were not happy about like us trying to get to the front. So there was one girl in particular who was very rude. She made a comment because I was too tall to be in the front. And I wasn't even planning to be in like the very front. I literally went up there just to say hi to my friends because they were all there and then I was gonna go back to like my spot. But she was just being kind of like, I don't know, she was just being like a little like crowd police kind of. She had gone into a fight with another girl and I told Marcy, I was like, I can't be around something like that because I will end up in a fight, especially, you know, if I've had a couple of drinks. I don't like when people tell me what to do or they start, you know, they're just being, she was just being rude for absolutely no reason. I literally had been up in the front for like 10 seconds and she started yelling at me. So luckily where we ended up staying for a majority of the concert, the people were super nice around us. Getting into the actual performers, I really enjoyed Zeneto Cristiano. We missed Mayara and Myresa? I don't know how to say their names. But I really enjoy Zeneto Cristiano. I love watching their lives on YouTube too. I feel like they're so funny. They've got so much charisma. They interact with the crowd so much. It just feels like they really appreciate their fans. They were pouring alcohol into people's mouths. They were taking pictures of people constantly, grabbing people's phones, taking pictures with them. People were giving them articles of clothing, hats, sunglasses, all that stuff. They were wearing that for people to take pictures in, and they were just super fun. They were drinking on stage and stuff. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on there. I have a little like Florida highlight on my Instagram, and you can see all the clips from that as well. I have a lot of the clips on the video that I posted on YouTube, but I have even more from my phone on my Instagram. So if you want to check them out, you can check them out on there. I really appreciated how interactive they were with the crowd. And I think it made people feel really special. They were making eye contact with people and like singing to them. And it was just, it was really special. And I really enjoyed that. It almost didn't feel like they were like celebrities. They felt like they were just very normal people. They weren't trying to be better than anybody else. They just wanted to like interact with people and, show their appreciation for their fans for being there. So I was really surprised, I've seen most of them perform live on YouTube, so I already know that like their voices are very good and they perform so well live, like they're not lip singing, they're literally singing live and they're still so good. So that was really cool. And I ended up getting 2 gift bags, which I got lucky. They were throwing them out into the crowd and Marcio literally jumped up like so high to grab one for me, which was cool. And then I got another one at the end because they were just handing them out. And it came with like gift cards and lipstick and I think like perfumes and stuff like that. So I got really lucky. The other part I really enjoyed were the engagements. So they had people come up on stage that were planning to propose. I think there was like 3 people that proposed, but I almost cried because they were so sweet. I didn't know what they were saying because they were speaking in Portuguese. But it was just so cool to experience that moment with them. And it's such a special moment, for anybody to get proposed to. And so, yeah, I don't know if that's like a common thing at concerts that they invite people up on stage to do proposals, but it was really cool to witness that. The other thing that I thought was funny is that if you watch my last video, you'll see at the very end, there were people that were jumping up on stage. Here, if you were to try and do something like that, I'm pretty sure they would like throw you off of the stage. But the bodyguards were like kind of, holding them back a little bit. And then I think once they realized that the person wasn't trying to cause any like harm, they let them go. And they literally like Zeneto and Cristiano and everybody else, Jorge Mateus, giving them hugs and just being so friendly and so kind and not judging them at all, not getting angry at them. They were like so appreciative actually that these people literally jumped up on stage just so that they could like hug them. And the people were very respectful too, honestly. Like they got on stage, they gave a hug, and then they got off. It was no fight, there was no problem. They just wanted to like show some love, I guess. So that was kind of my overall experience. Now I'm gonna look through some of the questions and see if there were things that I haven't answered yet, and then I'll make sure to answer those. Somebody had asked what kind of show that I go to. I went to Florida Summer Festival. Jorge Mateus was performing, Zeneto Cristiano, and Mayara and Marisa. I have no idea how to say her name. So I didn't see them, but they came out at the very end with everybody else. Oh, that was another really beautiful moment. They all came out and they had the Brazilian flag and they were all kind of joined together and hugging each other and, giving each other kisses. And it was so, I don't know, it was like just so much love. It was very sweet. I'm not sure which one it was, but she came out in this dress and oh my God, she looked beautiful. I was like, I want your body. I want to look like that. She looked incredible. Again, if you watch my other video, you'd see that at the very end, what I'm talking about, or like what I'm referring to. Somebody asked where. Again, Virginia Beach in Florida. It's southern Florida. It's south of Miami. Somebody asked my experience. I feel like I kind of went over that. What was my first Brazilian show? So I went to, if anybody follows me on Instagram, they probably saw, I went to Sorocaba. I think that's how you say his name, and Fernando. They were performing in San Francisco. So this past concert, the one that I'm talking about right now, it would be my first Sertanejo concert. I'm not sure what kind of music Sorocaba does. So I guess that would have technically been like my first Brazilian concert. I don't know, I kind of feel like this one that we went to in Florida was more so my first one, because it's like my first big concert with like a lot of people and several, you know, groups playing and stuff. So yeah. Somebody asked if I like Sertanejo. I do. I love Sertanejo. I actually have a whole playlist on my phone that I listen to, and a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, you're just doing these videos or you're just following trends so that you can get views and likes. I'm like, no, I actually enjoy Brazilian food, Brazilian music. These are all things that, like, when I'm not on camera, I still listen to Brazilian music. I still eat Brazilian food because they're things that I enjoy. I also sometimes just film myself while I listen to music so that you guys can see my reaction to it or how, you know, I experience the music. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the video. Overall, again, I really enjoyed it. I feel like there's some things that like I now know better for future concerts. I would definitely go to another one. I would like to go to one actually in Brazil when we do go. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions for me, you can also leave them down in the comment section and I can answer those for you. But I think that this video is long enough. Anyways, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in our next video. Ciao. Beijo. Abraço. Amor. Bye.